השבוע הזהיר הראל לוקר, מנכ"ל משרד ראש הממשלה, כי התקופה הנוכחית אינה נכונה להצטרפות לשוק הדיור. מצד שני, מעבר לים בארצות הברית, ניכר ששוק הנדל"ן נמצא רק בתחילתה של נסיקה. נמצא איתנו לארי אוברלי, סגן נשיא רימקס העולמית, שיסביר לנו כיצד הוא רואה את המצב בישראל ובארצות הברית. שלום את אוברלי, הבקיא במתרחש בנדל"ן הישראלי, האם לדעתו קיימת בועת נדל"ן בישראל?
What I see is a very tight market with still maybe a shortage of properties. And I think I see a real aggressively conservative banking industry here as well, where you can only get a mortgage for up to 75% of the value of the property. And so the fundamentals and the way the business works here does not lend itself to a bubble at all. It's completely opposite of what we saw in America, where you could get a mortgage for 125% of the value of the home with no qualifications. That kind of activity, that kind of market is what drives bubbles. What you have today is a very sound conservative real estate market. When I look at Tel Aviv, you have prices around 500,000 US is what I understand in the city of Tel Aviv, and Jerusalem somewhere in the 400,000 range. That's pretty comparable when you compare that to places like Chicago and LA. And so again, it might seem high, but in any city center right now, prices are going to be higher than further out of the city. I think your fundamentals are good. I think real estate's a great investment. I think it's the best investment that you can have, and it's also one of the most personal investments that people can have. And I'm very bullish on buying.
מה קורה בארצות הברית? האם זה הזמן הטוב ביותר לקרוא שם בית?
Yeah, I think so. And a matter of fact, I own a condo in Florida that I bought exactly at the wrong time. I bought it and committed to it in 2005, and I closed on it in 2007. It's worth only about 30 cents on the dollar of what I paid for it. And there's a lot of markets in America like that. In Florida, California, Nevada, Arizona, the worst hit markets are the ones that are recovering the best. And I'll give you a for instance. Right now, Miami is a very, very hot market. In 2012, there were more transactions in Miami last year than at any time in its history. The difference is they're only selling for about 30 cents on the dollar. And what's happening is most of the market is driven by foreign investors. So it's mostly from Europeans and even more so from South Americans. And so I think right now, America is a great place to invest. It's safe, secure, and it's going to continue to appreciate over the next decade easily.
אז היכן הכי כדאי להשקיע כיום בעולם?
A lot of people are investing in London. London has really had a resurgence and it's doing really, really well. I would say Europe is still a little shaky. So anywhere in America and Canada is a great investment. I would see a lot of places here as great investments as well, especially for Russians and Europeans and so forth. It's despite maybe some of the security issues that you're facing, you have a good balance of home building versus shortage of homes and so forth. It's an attractive place to be. And I think Israel will benefit over the next several years. I would still look at North America as probably the number one place. Lots of places in Europe as well. Again, the big major cities, Germany, Switzerland, even in the Scandinavian countries are very strong. The Scandinavian countries right now are very strong.
לאחרונה מציעים לישראלים בתים במחירים של 20 עד 50 אלף דולר במקומות כמו דיטרויט או אינדיאנפוליס. האם מדובר בהשקעה חכמה?
I think anybody who wants to look at those kind of bargains, one, they might be disappointed, in my opinion. And I would really look at more solid marketplaces for right now. But if they are going to buy in a place like Detroit and really try to capitalize on some appreciation, then they have to have a long-term view. They may have to look at holding those properties for 10, 20 years. And they may also realize that those properties might be vacant for a while before employment comes back into the area to fill those as rentals. So I would probably look really long and hard and really be sure that this is an area you want to invest. There's plenty of places to invest, and I don't think people should just necessarily chase that easy deal.